We are now inside the underground palace complex of the first emperor of Qin. This space, the ceremonial axis, controlled movement and perception. Scale and symmetry were deliberate tools, reinforcing hierarchy and obedience even in death. Human presence is deliberately diminished. Architecture dominates perception, reminding us that this space was never meant for the living. Columns like these were not decorative. They defined order, hierarchy, and permanence. Movement between halls was carefully controlled through narrowing space. This second underground palace reopens the space, restoring balance after compression and reinforcing architectural control.
From above, symmetry becomes a tool of control rather than decoration.
Progression through these axes defines both movement and hierarchy. Ceremonial corridors controlled movement, narrowing perception and reinforcing hierarchy.
Even the smallest surfaces were engineered to endure time and authority.
Corridors like this dictated direction, pace, and discipline within the underground complex.
This hall marks a transition towards stability and administrative order. Human presence here serves only as a measure of scale. These surfaces were built to endure centuries of silence.
From this perspective, order becomes the dominant language of power. This fourth palace emphasizes ceremonial formality over administrative function.
Here, human presence is reduced to a silent reference. Precision at this level reflects centralized control. From above, symmetry becomes absolute. Every transition reinforces anticipation and authority.
From this vertical perspective, symmetry becomes the primary expression of power. Human presence here serves only to reveal scale, not narrative.
These surfaces were never meant to be seen, only to endure.
Hierarchy is reinforced through repetition and scale. Movement through these axes was never accidental. Secondary corridors maintained strict directional control within the underground system.
Stone alignment here reflects precise planning rather than decoration. This seventh palace is defined by ceremonial scale rather than human presence. From above, the ceremonial axis becomes unmistakable.
Human presence remains marginal within spaces designed to dominate perception.
Tool marks and erosion reveal how permanence was engineered. Geometry dominates this eighth palace, reducing space to structure and order. Silence here is not absence, but control. Surface erosion records time more accurately than written history. The ceremonial axis extends authority through repetition and scale. This central hall reinforces authority through scale and emptiness. Human scale is deliberately minimized within ceremonial spaces. Symmetry here defines order rather than decoration. Transitions mark shifts in function, not merely movement. This 11th palace mirrors ceremonial halls once standing above ground. From above, order replaces ornament as the dominant expression of power.
Human presence remains peripheral within spaces built to overwhelm.
Wear patterns preserve construction methods long after intent is forgotten. This final chamber represents the absolute center of imperial authority.
From above, the hierarchy of the entire underground system becomes visible.
Human scale fades along the ceremonial axis.
Stone mass replaces ornament as the final statement of power. Perfect symmetry marks the culmination of underground design.
Beyond this threshold, function replaces ceremony.
This is the underground army built to guard an emperor in the afterlife.
Within this immense subterranean vault lies the silent army of Qin Shi Huang. Thousands of clay soldiers.
Human presence here exists only to measure scale.
Each figure was shaped individually, never repeated.
Asnaf. These weapons were engineered for efficiency, not display.
From above, discipline and order define the army's true structure.
This chamber reveals a more complex military formation. Here, scale becomes immediately perceptible. These war horses were sculpted to project strength, even in stillness. The diagonal view reveals depth and latent motion. This chamber was designed for command, not numbers. Authority is carved into every expression.
Depth here was designed to overwhelm perception. Order was enforced through absolute linearity.
The front line stands in permanent readiness. Protection was layered with precision.
This chamber reveals a layered battlefield design. Each section served a specific tactical purpose. The archers were positioned for coordinated fire. These mechanisms reflect advanced military engineering. Efficiency defined this command structure. Efficiency defined this command structure.
Leadership was visually distinguished. Rank was expressed through refined detail. Before us stands an army that has never moved and never will.
The scale was not symbolic. It was logistical. This was a real army, recreated underground.
Each weapon was positioned with precision. Order was the first line of defense. These were not ceremonial objects. They were functional weapons, built for war. The cavalry waits, forever positioned at the heart of imperial power. The cavalry formation reveals mobility as a core element of Qin military power. Rows of crossbows formed a dense wall of firepower, designed to stop any advance. These mechanisms reflect advanced engineering, built for efficiency rather than ceremony.
Together, these chambers recreate the full military force of an empire beneath the earth.
These faces were shaped to stand forever, without fear, without emotion. The formation extends beyond sight, suggesting an army without an end.
The layout reveals careful planning, where every unit had a defined place.
Discipline was embedded into every weapon, every stance. Even in stillness, the grip suggests readiness. This silence is the climax of power. Beyond this point, the tomb continues its story.